What's up, YouTube? It's Koda here, formerly known as Ash Daily. I'm back once again. I know it's been a minute, but I'm here and I'm happy to be here again. I guarantee you, I will be making videos more often so I can express myself and I can help you. I can give back to the community that I'm a part of, right? That's what it's all about. Tonight, I actually wanted to talk about the subject of insecurity and being trans. Let me tell you, it comes with a whole lot of insecurity. I think it's just natural, just, the way society works, feeling like you don't belong in a certain group or like anywhere really. Because let me tell you, when you're trans, bro, it's awful, honestly. It's really awful. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. People don't understand you, which is the biggest factor. People do not understand, yet they don't even have the mind capacity to comprehend what we go through and what we experience as trans people. And they think we're less of a person for some reason. I don't know what makes people think the way they do, or why some people are just so simple-minded. I know that people are hugely affected by how they grow up and what kind of environment and what kind of people that they're around during childhood, during adolescence. That has a huge influence on their character and the way that they treat other people. So, sorry, I'm a little sweaty. I was kind of, doing some working out and stuff. Yeah, back to my point, being trans is really tough. It's hard to be confident in yourself when ever since you're a little kid, you get bullied for something that you can't change, you have absolutely no control over, but people still find a way to blame you for being like that, people find a way to devalue your humanness somehow. They think that we just are making it up, right? They think trans people are just trying to get attention or trying to be different or something, but nah, as a trans person myself, I've been this way for 19 years. I'm telling you, I would never choose to be trans. Never. I mean, now that I'm more mature and I understand how much of a better person it has made me to be trans, because I can understand so many other perspectives of life because I'm trans, because I'm more open to receiving and not so closed-minded. You feel me? I can grasp reality in a whole different sense than a lot of people. A lot of people tell me I'm older than, or I act older, or my persona is older than I actually am. I take it as a compliment because there's not, a lot of people out here are very, very simple-minded, I'm telling you. So, I tend to go off on tangents, forgive me, but like I said, it's real tough to be trans, okay? So the insecurity, you start developing insecurities when you're really young, okay? When I was always a really shy kid. I think I was born a shy kid. I'm not sure if my parents had any influence over that, but I remember I would be scared to show off my talents in front of people, or just to be around people, or to introduce myself to new people. I'd be really reserved and closed off. I still am pretty much an introvert on the inside, but I've learned to rechannel the energy and become more of an extrovert, become more expressive with myself now that I'm more secure. But that definitely comes with time, security and confidence within yourself as a trans person. It comes with time, and it comes with experience, and it comes with really going inside and healing. That's the main thing. You gotta heal from the whole world's bullshit. Pardon my English. But you really got to, because the world throws so much negativity at us, especially when we're just kids, we don't know different. We don't know society. We don't know gender. When you're a kid, you're just being yourself. You're your most authentic self. You're your most authentic self when you're a kid. And when you take that away from a child, it really messes them up for their whole life, So yeah, talking about things that I've dealt with as a kid, I've definitely got bullied a lot. People would question me all right. So it was real tough growing up as a kid, because my parents were Christian. They're really religious, and they were really set on, making me abide by society standards, you feel me? So they wanted, in their head, they had a little girl, right? And in my head, I was not their little girl. But they tried so diligently for me to fit that image of their little girl. And I hated it so much because like I just had this burning feeling inside of me that it was like a deep hatred for what they were trying to do to me. And it was like, but the thing was, it was such a conflict. It was such a conflict within me, because I knew that was right. You know, that was the way society was supposed to go. I was intelligent enough to understand the roles of society, and to understand that they didn't want me to be like that because the world didn't move like that, you feel me? But that was super tough for me. So people would constantly ask me, like people my age would constantly ask me the question, are you a girl or are you a boy? And for me, that was like complete disrespect, you know? I feel like even in like today's age, you know, you can't just go up to somebody and be like, oh, are you a girl or a boy? You know, that's complete disrespect. Like, you don't do that. I mean, I know we were kids and stuff, but like that's like, that don't make sense to me. Like, you feel me? Like, it shouldn't even be important, really. Unless you're a doctor, unless you need to know their like biological gender for an emergency purpose, that question should not be asked. But that's just me being, you know, trans, I guess, whatever. Like, honestly, I don't give a fuck anymore. I don't care. I don't care what you call me. You can call me a girl. You can call me biologically female. And you know what? I'll agree with you, because I realize that your mindset is so small, like so closed-minded, that me validating you by telling you you're right and that you know your basic biology, you know that XX chromosomes equals female and XY equals male. I know that you need that round of applause, so congratulations, you win. Oh yeah, some of the conflicts I faced when I was a kid is people asked me if I was a girl or a boy. I didn't really know how to address it, because in my heart I was like, I'm a boy, I want to tell you I'm a boy. Sometimes I would, but when I did, I would get in trouble, because my parents would always tell them that I was a girl, tell people, my teachers, that I was a girl. You know, I was in society's image of me was a female, was a girl. But I did not dress like a girl. I did not act like a girl. I did not hang out with girls. Everything about me was male, was screaming male. Yet they just tried so hard to mask me with that label of female. And, you know, it was two energies that didn't collide, right? That, it caused real emotional trauma for me, experiencing that. Also, when people would come over to my house and stuff, and my parents would still be using female pronouns. I really despised that, because I felt like I could never have people over. Like, I was always in constant fear of being exposed, because when I had friends and I got close to my friends, my boy friends, like my friends that were male, even my friends that were female, I did not want them to know that I was biologically female, because that's embarrassing. To be quite honest, that is embarrassing. It makes people feel like, you know, like they've been lied to, or they've been trapped or deceived or something like that, even though they have been, but by society, you feel me? Because I think what a lot of people don't understand is that whatever somebody's trying to express to you is most likely the truth, because you cannot declare somebody as something, you know? You feel me? Because you're not them. You're not experiencing what they are perceiving. You don't know them inside. You are not them. You cannot tell somebody who they are, let alone tell other people who somebody is. I think that's where it gets tricky, and that's where a lot of people just don't have the capacity to understand it, right? Because of science and because of the rigid laws of reality, people think that it's all one way, and some people think, my bad, like it's changing a lot. Like, society's changing massively, like really fast, and I'm extremely grateful for that. Yeah, so I've experienced things like that. I've experienced, you know, not being able to go to camp with my classmates because I was too uncomfortable, you know, sleeping with the girls, or like dorming with the girls, and I didn't want to be in that position. I would hate to stand in the girls' line for lunch. You know, everything was kind of segregated by gender in school like that. So, you know, I've developed a lot of insecurity throughout my childhood that was either I carried with me through middle school, through high school, and it made me develop this wall, this huge, thick steel wall. Like, I did not want to let anybody know I was trans when I got into an atmosphere that I could control, you know? When I moved into high school, I switched schools, so all the kids were new to me. Like, nobody knew my history. I was a free man. I could be whoever I wanted to be, and I had a fresh start, right? So, like, I didn't want anybody to know that I was trans. Like, I was masking my real identity, what you shouldn't ever be ashamed of, you know? Like, right now I'm very proud to be trans. Like I told you before, like, I'm extremely proud to be trans. I wouldn't trade it for the world, because the experience of being an outcast of society has shaped me into a man that is more manly than half the men I know, to be quite frank. And I don't care what anybody else says about me, because, like, think about it. Like, call me 100% biological female. Actually, you don't have to, because I agree with you. I'm 100% biologically female. Yeah, like I said, so this is like overcoming this insecurity. That's what I'm trying to get at, you know. Gotta wrap it up here. To overcome the insecurity of being trans is, like I said, you gotta really go within yourself. Like, you gotta target these experiences just like I did. Like, I went back in childhood and thought about, like, the times that really hurt me, the experiences I had that really made me feel ashamed and really made me feel guilty and made me experience such a low vibration. And self-esteem, like, what caused me to have low self-esteem. You have to go inside. Like, I know that some people, or a lot of people like me included, like, have PTSD that we just block off the memories because they're so painful that you don't want to think about it anymore. But to heal, you got to go back. You got to go back in time. You got to focus on that memory. You got to let it happen. I'm not saying you got to be grateful that it happened right now, but eventually you want to be. You need to process it, and then you have to forgive yourself, and you have to forgive the situation, and most of all, forgive the other people. Because, like I said, they don't have the capacity that you have. Like, I'm talking to you as if you're a trans person right now. If I'm talking to a person, which this video is intended for, is like other trans people, you need to understand that people don't, just as they don't understand you, you have to realize that you don't understand them, and you don't understand their perspective of life, and, like, what they were taught to make them be so, like, to express so much hatred and so much disgust towards you, you know? It's all about, you know, finding compassion for people, you know? It's a lot of this led me to go through a spiritual awakening that I'm definitely going to be making more videos about, because I definitely gone through extreme changes mentally and spiritually through these past months. Like, these past few months, I've been growing so fast, and, like, I have so much to tell you and talk about. But yeah, like, just a quick overview, because I don't have a lot of storage on my phone. So, experiences I had when I was a kid that caused me to have low self-esteem issues and insecurities was being called a girl, being asked if I was a boy or a girl, my parents using incorrect female pronouns, and having to go to or abide by the female stereotype, you know, like having people like tell me that I have to stand in this line or be with this group of people. Also, bathrooms. Don't even get me started on those. Like, it's pretty self-explanatory at this point. But how I got over insecurities was time. Like I said, like, it's just experience. You got to go through it. It's going to hurt you. I'm sorry. But remember that the more pain and struggle that you go through, the better it will be on the other side of the mountain. I'm telling you this, like, as my future self. Like, I'm looking back at myself, talking to myself right now. I'm telling you, man, like, it hurts like a bitch right now, but you gotta stay strong. You gotta know who you are, and don't let anybody phase that. Because think about it, like, that's their only leverage. That's their only leverage on you. You feel me? Like, the only leverage people have on you, the only way that they can change you, or the way you feel, or the way that you interact, or the way that you progress in life, is if you let them. You do not let people tell you who you are at all costs. You know yourself. You are proud of yourself. And you know how much pain that you had to go through to get to where you are today. You know how much pain you had to suffer through just to be respected as a human being. Like, all the friends you had to lose, all the arguments you had to get in, all the shame you had to feel. I'm telling you, being trans, you're in 1.5% of the whole population. That's like 8 billion people, dog. 8 billion people, and you were chosen in that 1.5% to be so unique, so different, to have this broader, like, completely crazy retrospect of life, perspective of life. It's phenomenal. Our brains are built different. We can see things that other people just cannot see, and it's a blessing because we are able to help so many people in that way. You feel me? So if people are hating on you, just remember that. Remember this, you are in control of your thoughts and your actions. Nobody else has control over that. You control how you react to a situation. If somebody treats you badly, it's not your fault. You have no responsibility. The only person who has responsibility for that is them, all right? And they got to deal with that themselves, you know? They're projecting onto you something that they don't understand about themselves, something they dislike about themselves, you know? Let me tell you a secret. Everybody is you. You'll figure out more about that later on if you haven't already. But all right, that was my video for tonight. Keep in touch. Hit me up on Instagram. I'm definitely making more music soon. And I really hope that I get more fans to listen to my music because, you know, my music is pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. And yeah, I'm definitely excited to, you know, see where this goes. 2022, I'm about to be posting a lot of YouTube videos. I want to get out into the community. I want to make this like a career thing, you know, feel me? Like, I want to get out there. So, you know, if this helped you out, please leave a like, please subscribe, please share with your friends because it all helps me. And it helps people, you know, people who need it most get to know me so that they can get to know themselves better, you feel me? So it's all love. Thank you so much for watching and see you next time.